So this is what the Pasadena Showcase House of Design looks like 2 months into it. Work is well underway. The 20-plus designers are hard at work virtually every day, trying to make over this historic home at Descanso Gardens something magnificent while maintaining the integrity of the history. And I think you're going to like some of the surprises we found. So Marcus, tell us, basically, when you first saw this room, knowing the history of the house and knowing the history of this man, Manchester Boddy, I mean, he spent a lot of time here in his library.
Yes.
And tied with the newspaper and everything. What was your vision when you first saw it?
Well, one of the things we wanted to do was stay with the character of the room because it has a lot of beautiful wood and it is a library. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to use the character of the wood and we wanted to use the library as the backdrop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use contrast. We're going to contrast the room with light furniture, with sparkle in the room, and with window treatments that are going to offset the dark woods that are in the room. We're going to take the books, and we're not going to put all the books back. We're going to take probably about half the books, and we're going to wrap them in shimmering wallpaper. So people are going to see the books that are going to be shimmery and shiny, and they're going to add some contrast to the bookshelves. And also we're going to create vignettes in the various bookshelves that we have. So we're going to have sparkle with crystal and stainless steel and accessories actually in the shelves themselves.
As far as the shelving goes, beautiful wood, a lot of storage space.
Yes.
I'm guessing you're going to help us learn how to not only display books, but maybe our collectibles and favorite things.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what happens with bookshelves in people's homes is that they kind of become places where you just kind of put stuff. And so what we're going to do is we're really going to edit what goes in the shelves. So people are going to actually see how to edit what you have and how to create vignettes and make something interesting and hopefully make a statement when you have a lot of shelves. And I think the takeaway is going to be that a lot of people don't have beautiful books. I mean, if you have old classic books with the nice spines, they look great when they're in the shelves, but a lot of us have a collection of things, you know, paperback books or books that somebody gave to us or even magazines. And what we're trying to show is by wrapping the books, we can actually create something that the books are different, but they look
they belong together.
They look like they belong together, exactly.
Like vintage almost, in a way.
Exactly.
And is it not wrapping paper, but wallpaper?
Wallpaper, exactly.
So anyone can just get wallpaper and do this.
Exactly. So we're going to have 3 different types of wallpaper. And then we're going to, you know, the big joke here is that we're going to need to get a bunch of students to help us wrap the books. Cause we're going to have about 500 books that we're going to have to wrap. So,
wow.
And we're doing the math, how many you have to do per hour to be able to get through 500 of them.
When you first heard it was going to be a public space as opposed to a private home.
That's very exciting to me.
Yeah?
I'm a member of Descanso Gardens. I've been a member for many years, more years than I can remember. So for me, and knowing what Descanso does for the community, it was really exciting.
I mean, your signature will last forever because the public will be able
well, forever.
to... Essentially, they'll get to come back.
Landscaping never lasts forever.
Don't tell us that.
No. It's true. Most, landscaping lasts as long as that client is in the home.
As the caregiver.
And then as soon as they leave, it changes.
Given that this is the Hollywood Regency theme, and I love what you're doing with the concrete, this is a really retro kind of a style you've got going. Yeah. Very elaborate. Yeah.
This year, I decided to do something that's very difficult to do.
Oh, really? How's it difficult?
Technically difficult, and it won't be noticeable to people. Well, the work that goes into doing inlaid concrete and doing the type of score lines that we're doing is something that was done at the time when this home was built, but which is rarely done today because it's very time-consuming, it's labor-intensive, and there are not necessarily, not everybody's 100% skilled to do this. So this is something... Not everybody is able to meet this criteria.
So you wanted to be historically correct.
Historically correct, do homage to the time period. I also wanted to do something that was not going to interfere with the view of, I mean, there's an outstanding view off of this terrace.
Yeah.
The main terrace has a view of Angeles Crest Mountains. In the winter, there is snow on the caps of these mountains. The oak trees are absolutely gorgeous. So we wouldn't want to distract anybody from the view. We want to enhance it. It is the star of our space. So what you see at this stage is raw concrete. 2 weeks from now, I'll be using a new translucent type dye, and it's not something that you roller on and it doesn't look like opaque. It's not the old opaque paints that you would see staining concrete. This is a process where right now we're setting up the pattern, then we're going to bring the sand up on top of the concrete, which gives it that nice velvety feel, but also keeps people from slipping and sliding. And then on top of that, in 2 weeks' time, once everything has set up properly, we will be taking sponges and rollers and knee pads and hand coloring all of the motifs and the central medallion. The central medallion is actually going to be inlaid stainless steel, inlaid in the concrete. It is a group of deers. Everybody's calling them Papa Deer, Mama Deer, and Baby Deer because we have a stag and a doe with a fawn.
Oh.
And
that's going to be right over your shoulder
it's
here in
going
the
to
center?
be right over my shoulder in the center. It's enormous. It's taking up the entire center. You'll probably see it a lot better from the second story. It's meant to be seen from the upstairs terrace, and that will all be hand colored. We're using 6 colors. They're all earth tones. Yes. We had we designed a form, and then we had it bent into the shape of the animals.